But I'm sitting in my music room at home, and I'm ready to listen to Joanna.
Awesome. So we are ready. Joanna, if you'd like to just say a couple words about yourself and introduce yourself, that would be awesome.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Joanna. I just finished my freshman year at Harvard, and I'm from New York. I study privately with Elizabeth Rowe, and I'm going to be playing the Muczynski's 3 Preludes.
I think everybody is applauding. Really good, lovely. You can see the comments here that people give you. It's all positive, amazing. I totally agree. Of course, my job here is to look for something to say to you, you know. And if we start with your appearance, I can see you very well, you know. And I kind of like the way you stand, where you play over your shoulder. You turn a lot here. Very often we see people who doesn't turn too much, and that means slightly twisted back. I can guarantee you have no back problems, you know, as you stand there. I'm sure you never have pain in your back, which is great. What I do see is that your right hand, you're a little bit too lively with your fingers there. And they're not relaxed. When you're not using your fingers, they should still be relaxed. When you play, it's fine. You're there with your fingertips, but when you stop playing, the fingers go straight like that. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should try just a scale, easy scale, and make sure that your fingers stay in place. Could you play just 5 notes like this from, let's say, from F, from middle F? Just easy like that. And focus on your right hand to make sure, even when you play, have contact with your keys. That's the way. Can you feel that you have the contact? So if we go to the second movement, when you play melodic, can you also play kind of melodic with your fingers? So they're not there mechanically to just produce your correct note. They are actually part of your melodic playing. Let's see if you can do that. I will leave you for like 5-6 bars at least, where you try to feel this, you know. We don't talk about melody or anything else. Now it's only your right hand position, and that your fingers stay in touch with the keys and they play melodically. Try. Very good, Joanna. Can you feel, actually your legatos become so much better. They were good before, no problem. That's not an issue here. But now your legato gets really, really connected, and it's all in your fingers. A few lifts also on your long finger, you know, sometimes just want to go up. But I think if you just focus on your right hand with this melodic way, should we do a little more advanced practice on this? Could you play the first movement and see if you can stay melodic? Then, of course, this is a rhythmical movement, but forget all that stuff. You know the piece so well. Just focus on your fingers here. I'm not going to mention anything else. Go from top and see if your fingers can stay down and connect with the keys. Very good. Joanna, this is not a big problem for you. Do you practice scales?
Not as much as I should, probably, but...
Oh, come on. So maybe, what scales do you play?
I go around the circle of fifths, so I do.
You do. You invent your own scales, practices.
Not a ton. I do whole range scales where I like go from the very bottom to the very top and then like back to in the key of the
Good.
scale.
So when you do those scales, from now, at least a couple of rounds on this with total focus on fingers, how they connect with your keys, and make sure they are melodic. Your fingers should move melodically. So then your scales at that point are not supposed to go fast or a new world record. They're supposed to be extremely beautiful with a good connection here. And I think if you only do that like 10 minutes every day in your scales, and now and then in the music, just check it out, it will just slide into a very natural pattern for you.
Okay.
That's about you. Everything else looks absolutely great. Yeah, I'm impressed. Now, let's go into the music a little bit here. If we do the first movement here, can you in a better way keep track on where the heavy beats are? This is very rhythmical music. So, as we know, the downbeat 1 is so much more important than the second beat. And we want this to be heard. The composer doesn't write like an upbeat, yam, ba, da, da. No, he goes, ba, ba, da, da. You have to go away from that one. And especially when it comes to Muczynski music, that is so rhythmical. Let's see if we can do this. Can you just play the first 2 bars? So we hear, where 1 is and what is an upbeat. Okay, show it just very clear. Only the first 2 bars. That's it. Please repeat it. Repeat it so it feels natural. But that's very good now. Now we could hear it's a little upbeat there to the second bar, Yeah, da da da, di da di da 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 da. Once again, repeat it a couple of times here so you get used to it. That's it. Very good. Can you play this without putting length on the first note on the second bar? So it's absolutely rhythmical, but like you did here, dynamically, you do small changes, dum, ba, ba, da, dum, di, 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 but it's only dynamically. We can change rhythm, yes, but do that later. First, rhythmical. Okay, let's do this. Very good. So clear. Let's play now up to the fermata again. And forget about fingers, forget about everything. Now we just focus to get upbeat as upbeat, phrases that leads off the heavy beat. We want to feel a lightness in that. Then it will be, as Muczynski says, well accented. That's what we want, well accented. We want to feel the rhythm. Okay, go. Joanna, that's very good, because now also those accents that he asks for that is not on the heavy beat, they really come out. You feel that they suddenly make sense.
Yes.
You have the figure in the 10th bar that goes ba-da-ba-bum. No extra length on any of the top notes. They are short. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Why? Well, because in some places, like the bar before, he wants you to make long notes. You see, so those short, otherwise it was really good. I could feel a swing. Maybe you were nervous when you started the first time. But this is so good. Let's do it again. Joanna, that's good. As you feel now, you don't need to play that fast. I mean, you played it pretty fast when you started. It's actually, I think, to get this kind of well-accented rhythmical feeling, it doesn't have to be very fast, you know, spirited, yes, but in a rhythmical way, you know, swing and dancing doesn't always have to be the fastest we know. A good beat can just make it swing anyway. Can you do it once again? I want to point out how good you play bar 6. I know a lot of people listening here don't have the music, but there is di-do-do-di-dum, and then it's a long, 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 long upbeat. And now I could hear the upbeat. Da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. That's good. You really got this. One last time from top. And you know, find a comfortable tempo. If you need to change it after 2 bars, restart.
Okay.
So you get the right tempo from the start. Very good, Joanna. That's good. You know, this is good. This is the way. Now I feel so safe. You can also see that, you know, in a couple of places here, he puts an accent in the middle of the bar. Yes, because now it works. You know, if you show where the beat is and then suddenly it's an accent like that, that's fine. The good phrasing off you do, that's brilliant. It gives air and rhythm to the music. If we don't phrase off, if all those small phrases are not phrased off, we will understand it as a question because it's not finished. You understand? Mm-hmm. And of course you can sometimes hear that he said, what's that? A question, you know. So can you go from the triplets again, play as it is, but when he puts the accent on the offbeats, it's questions, and then mark it, what's that? Okay. Go from where the triplet is. That's good. Really good. Let's go second movement. Joanne, it's the same thing here, you know, that we have to read the music so we understand. Muczynski here, he writes the phrase, and to clarify here that he wants the beginning of the second bar to be the phrase top. Graphically, it's the top, and also he makes you crescendo into it, and you do that stuff. What you don't do is, you know, the expression we have, it's the vibrato. We can color the flute in so many ways, you know, happy, sad, you know, trembling, sweeping, but it's from the vibrato we do it. And when we reach a phrase top, you have to hit the vibrato from the beginning of that note. Otherwise, we change the rhythm. And if we play in an ensemble, you know, and start to kind of swell on notes and do crescendos in the vibrato and expression, that means something. And most of it, we feel it like it's leading forward, like an upbeat. And like the second phrase here, you should nail that A from the start, you know, and then go back. I'm not going to say what I heard, but I heard something different.
Okay.
Now, can we just do that first phrase that goes for 2 bars? And make sure that you build with your expression. The crescendo is there, the graphic picture is there. Now, with your expression also, you build to that top A. You'll have a couple of chances on this. Okay. Let's hear what you do. That's better. Very good. What you did now was you move the tempo up to that top note. Fine. That's also, of course, very expressive. But then please give us the space for the top note. So before you phrase it off, then give a little extra time. Bring back what you stole on the way up, that you put on the top note. Okay. Yeah, but look, that's a good mistake, with your air, because now you give that little extra. So do it once more, Joanna, and maybe then, don't be so extrovert, or take a breath after the A, the A we really want to hear, and then breathe quickly. I'm pro breathing. I hate to see people die in front of me. Yeah. Joanna, can you go from the second phrase, the 3rd bar with pick up? Mm-hmm. You see that top F? Can you vibrate on that one, on from the start of the note, so you don't swell, mm-hmm. But okay, second phrase. That's the way. Let's do from the top again, please. And then you can continue with this, and I let you play until you fail, Then we say, stop, there you fail. But we're only going to listen how you use your expression here, We wanted to, sorry, I'm talking too much here, but we wanted to, it's so clear what Muczynski wants here, he writes out exactly where the phrase top is. So help him, by putting all your expression there, and don't go for this. It's a very common mistake with flute players. We do this, and when we listen to auditions with flute players in orchestras and stuff, 9 out of 10 very often get sent out because of this. Because if you're going to be seated next, if you play clarinet, who don't do anything like expression, they just boo, but they would be really, it's hard for them, to follow the flute player that swells on each note. But they want to hear the beats, where the expression is. So that's why, it's kind of a universal thing also for all styles. So show us, please. do 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 dee da dee. Expression, you know, on the beat there. This is a 6/8, so the 4th 8 note is also quite heavy here, as you see. And also he starts a diminuendo on that one, you see. So could you start bar 6? Do 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 dee da la. Hey, once again. Maybe too big crescendo. It was too loud on the top. Okay, once again.
Okay.
Joanna, can we change subject?
What?
Just in this place here, the rhythm. Now, this is maybe a problem with the virtual sound here that we have that is not the accurate one. But as I hear it, the small black notes are too loud. You can see there's a main note rhythmically, which is the long one. So it goes ba-dum, ka-dum, ka-dum. When you play, I hear a little bit too much of that ba-dum, da-dum. And that actually changed the rhythm, you know. When the black note, short one, is accented, it sounds like it's on the beat. Here it's not. It's supposed to be ba-dee, da-da. So can you lighten up the little black note, the quick one, and then maybe a little extra expression on the long one? And you can start in bar 10, upbeat to 11. Joanna, that's good. Now, can you feel also this kind of waving, you know, almost like a cradle, how it goes, it bounds, and it gives such a beautiful character to it when we have that. I liked it. Do you want to, can you just, before we stop, can you just play all that section again? Because this was so good. And the way you used your vibrato now, on the notes, you know, give that little extra expression. That's very good. That's so enjoyable, you know. I could just totally relax here. So please do it once again.
Okay.
And then continue to the end. And that will be the end of your session here. To make it really nice now. Joanna, maybe in the end here, don't even do the slightest diminuendo before the low C, you know, wait and get the low C, and then you do your diminuendo. Ba-dee-dee-da. And yeah, can you just do the last phrase? It's beautiful, but we want it magical. Okay.
Just the da 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 da.
Yeah, just that one. Yeah. I feel that you pull back before the slow C. Can you make a kind of quasi crescendo into the low C? Wow, yes, that's it, you know, with that semi-glissando down. Wow, that's something. Just don't play too loud, you know. You can just color it. But that's it. So the phrase goes into the low C. One last time. Plenty of air, just relaxed. No forcing. I like that. Thank you, Joanna. Is there anything I said that you want to just bring up again and say, can you say something more about that? Or I didn't understand this. Or if you have any other question.
I don't think so. Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, I should thank you for a beautiful piece of music.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we all applaud. I applaud forever. Here you see Emma Rose think it's bravo. Wow. Thank you, Joanna.
Thank you.
Okay, are we ready for some Prokofiev? Right?
Hello.
Yeah. Hey.
Hi,
Ethan.
my name is Ethan. I just finished my freshman year at West Virginia University. I'm a flute performance major. And right now I'm in Delaware, where I live. And I'm going to play the first movement from the Prokofiev Sonata.
Ethan,
Yes?
we see so much of your music stand. Can you kind of reorganize this so we see more of you?
Sure.
That's better.
Okay.
Look at that.
Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Ethan. I'm sure I'm applauding for everybody who are listening here. Here,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Beautiful here. We have Emma thinks it's fabulous. That's great. Ethan, it's there. Technically, you have no problem with this piece. So let's see if we can establish a couple of bigger pictures in it.
Okay.
Let's start with some details and we can go from the end. When you do the pickup to the last note, you have to be aware of that the piano is playing and the piano is moving on up to the third beat in the last bar.
Okay.
So if you're aware of that, you will play with the piano, which means that the piece doesn't really end until the third beat, you know. So you go, and just in some way show that, well, I know it's not ending until the third beat. You know, I would usually play it straight for 2 beats, and then I come with a vibrato on the third beat, you know. Because in my world, a straight note has a dominant character, and the vibrato has a kind of tonic feel to it. I don't know if you agree. We can't discuss philosophy here, but I think most of us feel that way. Now, if you want to lead it forward, you blow straight. If you want to rest on a note, you put vibrato onto it. So can you just give us the pickup and the last note and play, you know, so we hear the piano, la-dee, la-dee, boom. Good, and I would do pretty active on that last one. I don't know if you can hear it from here, if it's a good thing to show, but very light E. And then clearly you on the last note.
Okay.
Try again. Don't even, you know, don't make almost vibrato, a full, beautiful one. You have a good vibrato. You should show it. That's it, Ethan. I love your vibrato. So we should work through here, you know, to make that singing. You give us a very singing version of this first movement, and I love that. That's beautiful. So let's do the last bar line here when you come in on your top F. Can you sing it? So it's just not a blown. You don't just blow an F. You sing an F. Can you hear that little different in distinction? You know, you go, yeah, la, 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 la. Let's hear it. And Ethan, do a little more vibrato than you think.
Okay.
It's vibrato works that way. Sorry if I talk a little bit extra here, but when you think you do too much, that's normally when it sounds too much around you. But if you just walk 5 feet or 10 feet away, it's not that bad. And if you are in a concert hall and you start to have a few walls around you, then it's really beautiful. Okay. So you have to overdo it a little bit, you know, then it's really pleasant for us. And especially when there is pianissimo. So here, let's do it. I give you a couple of chances, you know, to feel this, you know.
Okay.
I think you have to do much, much more. If you are not really sure to nail that first one, I don't think it's a big problem for you otherwise, but you can always open the second trill key a fraction. Have you done that?
Oh, interesting.
It makes life easier. If Prokofiev Sonata comes after intermission and it's the end of the concert, it could happen that you're tired in your embouchure and you just need to open that little trill key to get it to ignite.
Okay.
Okay, so not too much, but just a glimpse of it. Okay,
right.
Try again. Overdo your vibrato. Make it sing. Much better. I can hear it, even though it's hard, you know, over the phone. Could you make a little break before those 4 notes?
Yeah.
La da 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 da. So ya da 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 da, and those 4 notes really brings you into the next long F, and then sing it all to the end. You know, even though you do diminuendo, sing it, and you have to do a little extra, more than you think.
Okay.
Go. Good. That's it. We had a question here. What trill key did you open? I can show you here. Here is my flute. It's this key, the ring finger. You can reach, it's not the first one, but the second trill key for top F. In real life, it gives a fraction of a different color, but it's most of all, it brings safety. So, and sometimes in orchestra, if you end up in a high F and it should be soft, it could sometimes be good to open that one to also get it sharp enough.
Okay.
Very good. Let's go back into the piece. Let's go to, do you have orientation numbers?
Yes.
Very good. Do you have, at number 9, do you have this?
Yeah.
Good. I want to hear that. Now, here, don't nail the upbeat, you know. The upbeat is an upbeat. So whatever expression you have on that first A, it has to be more on the F sharp.
Oh.
And next one. You see?
Right.
Prokofiev is very, very careful about things like that, you know. It's marked as an upbeat, played like an upbeat. Now also, Ethan, don't be afraid of playing long notes. It feels like when you have a long note, you just play and you do a little bit of vibrato. Come on, nail your beautiful vibrato on the long notes. Very often it's a good thing to phrase off. You can do that, but keep the vibrato going. Keep your singing voice going here. It's good.
Okay.
So you should show with that. Go from 9. I will let you play until the poco fermata. Do the upbeats and sing on the long notes.
Okay.
Okay, Ethan, I still hear, maybe it's the reception of our microphones and stuff, but I hear a little bit of a boxing glove on the upbeat, you know. I hear ti-da-da-da-da. Want to have that softer. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Otherwise, good character. The good character on this. Go again from 9.
Okay.
Good. Can you, the very last phrase when you go this, can you stay in that thick color on to the A? I can hear you totally change color on the A. Don't do that because you want to save that for later. And also you're coming from a thinner one. So all the way up to A. Now, before that, same color thing here. When you play C or C sharp, you make it very thin. I hear. I would like to hear. Do you hear, can you hear the difference here in the phone?
Yeah, I can.
So. Instead of, that's 2 things, you know, keep your dark sound going. And the same, especially when there's forte before the poco fermata, you know, keep, even though you do diminuendo, that's fine, it should be diminuendo, but don't lose the singing sound in your quality. It's so good, Ethan. So The problem for you is that when you use your singing sound and your quality, it's so good, so we really hear when you miss it out. Do you understand? So you kind of trap yourself into, you know, but lift all those, how do you say, the notes that you forget, you know, work your sound through all the phrases. Let's go from 9 again. This is a good place to work on this. Now I will cut you immediately when you make kind of a thin, useless sound, you know, singing quality all the time, lots of harmonics, go.
Okay.
No. Come on, give me that dark C sharp. Just that. Blow down in the head joint. Just go that phrase. Let's hear. Ethan, let's play from A, because that's good. And then a B flat. And then a B natural. And see if you can get that fat sound into your C sharp. Try it. Go from A. Good. Good. You have to do something with your throat there to keep that kind of rich, full of harmonics sound to the C sharp or C. Can you try again?
Yes.
Good. Good. Yes. One.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's the quality.
Okay.
Can you go? Very slow. Just find that deep. Okay. Keep your jaws together and blow down in the flute. See what happens. Keep your jaws together and blow down in the flute. Okay. Yes. Ethan, you're getting there. I can hear it now. So let's see if you play from 9 again. Now, I'm not going to stop you, but hopefully just from what I have said here, now you will be your own little policeman and recognized, you know, when you don't get this kind of beautiful singing quality in your tone.
Yeah.
Let's go from 9 again.
Okay.
That's it. That's it. Good. We leave it like that. Now you can hear it, you know, so you keep that kind of, how do you say, you keep that kind of quality with everybody who is listening, you know, so you don't just drop them here and there. You with the ears of the audience all the time, you know, and just listen to this all the time. Now, the fermata here is called polka fermata. So can you get this one in a melodic way so it doesn't break up the music?
Mm-hmm.
So pochissimo ritardando before, and then just a little extra breath, something like this. you hear. So it doesn't, it's not a proper fermata. It's just, it's a stretch, you know, a join in close to the end. Okay, let's go from the forte. Same thing here, you know, with that E after the polka fermata. Can you make that one really slide in melodically, really soft?
Yeah.
If you're out of embouchure that day also, can you the same trill key again?
Mhm.
Just touch it for that E. Try. Softer, 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 softer. Really, really soft. That's it. So this is a really show-off place, you know. Da,
Yeah.
da, 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 and then as a string here, you know. Okay, go. Try it again. You can try it. Don't press it too deep just because then it would sound weird, but just touch it. Good. A couple of things here. At 10, for the long D, come on, sing it from the start of the note, you know. Decide, I'm going to sing this D. And then you can phrase it off in the last beat or so. The piano plays. What you do now, you give the impression of, I really don't know what to do with this D. So you swell a little bit or, you know, come on, nail it. Just sing it, and the pianist will do his stuff under. The top A, you have to work that out with a fantastic vibrato.
Okay.
Just as fantastic as all the vibratos in the first and second octave has to be the same in the third. I know, it's terribly hard. And it's not going to drop down from the sky. You have to do it, you know. It has to be hard work, I know, but God, it sounds beautiful when it works. Can you try just that top A? Right. Yeah, in this machine here, I cannot, it's pretty straight. I don't know if you do it or not, but you have to work it out, you know, to make that kind of shimmering. Like, you know, one of those romantic violin masters, you know, when they go up high here, you can see their hand, you know, how the whole instrument goes like this. Well, it's not too far away on the flute. We need to see, you know, that we actually want to do something with that high note. It's easy to just blow straight, I know. But with your expression as you play the rest of the piece, it has to be expressive. Okay, Ethan, let's go back to 8. For you who don't have the music, this is the recap when it starts. When you have a big sonata, the recap, very often it's a good idea to start the recap under tempo. And then after like a couple of bars, you speed it up. And here with Prokofiev Sonata, it's so obvious. You play 4 bars under tempo, and then boom, when he asks you for mezzo forte, you go at tempo. Can you see that? Yeah. So before 8, you know, when you take over the piano and interfere with the piano, you really, really, really take time, you know. And you wait. And then you play the most beautiful theme you ever done, a little under the tempo. And then after 5 bars, you go. Can you try that?
Yeah.
Okay, Ethan, can we agree that you make a little gap before the quick notes, before the 4/16 notes?
Yeah.
Each time. So you have like a phrase that goes A, D, A, end of that phrase, and then there's a new one. La da 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 da, da da da. You understand? So you go dee, 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 ba. And in the end, when you come to the low D, nail it. We want expression from the start on it, you know, in both places where that happened. Okay, go. You can take even more time on the first two A's.
Okay.
That's it. That's very good. So you have that kind of singing quality in this theme here. When it goes on now, this is like a weird middle theme of, you know, that is, could we jump to the start?
Yeah.
And we could discuss that section here. When we hear this, there's an old recording with David Oistrakh that he made after he kind of got to know this sonata by Prokofiev. You know, he asked Prokofiev, David Oistrakh, who is the violinist, asked Prokofiev if he could write a violin sonata. And Prokofiev said, yeah, well, I have here in my drawer, there is a sonata for flute that no one plays. And then they reworked the whole sonata for violin. And after that, of course, it became so popular among the flute players because someone could play it. But David Oistrakh recorded it. And when he starts this, it's tempo 100, which is much faster than we normally do. You know, it's so light. And when he comes to this place, oh, he just goes totally nuts. You know, it's so quick. It's as quick as you can. You know, it's really one. So what we learn from that is we have an enormous freedom, and Prokofiev would totally approve with that, you know, that you create something. So maybe should we go here from the top? Could you start the last time this comes? And then just go. Ethan, do it.
Great.
Ethan, jump forward, jump to where you have this passage 2 bars before this thing.
Oh, okay.
Go from the A flat to C to E flat. Yeah, very good. And then absolutely, you know, drill the low notes like you have a pneumatic asphalt or concrete drill, you know. Dum, dum, blah, so it really sparks. You know, this is a different character, and it should be really wild. You know, if you crack a few notes here and there and just misbehave a little bit, the piece actually gains from it. So don't be afraid here. And then, of course, the next theme, like we did before in the end, you know, you play so pretty with all those nice upbeats and all this vibrato stuff. Could you do this again? Can you have the technique. Can you do it even a little bit more crazy?
Sure.
That's really good. You know, this comes when, sorry, now I'm jumping. You have this coming, where is it when it ends on a low trill?
Right before 9.
Yep, that's it. Exactly. Can you play that section? And then here it's much harder because it's in a lower register. But try to misbehave completely. And when you come to the low D and trill on it, make sure you take the trill in the bottom. It was a little bit too light. It has to be doody, 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 but faster, of course. Could you play this section also?
Yeah.
Exactly, that's it. So get that low D key down in the bottom. Now you're getting there, Ethan, because it's, I think you are in tempo 110 now. And here, David Oistrakh plays this in 120, which is, you know, the normal march. So. So there is really no limit for us when it comes to take the freedom here. It also helps, you know, when you should bring out the characters, you know, one is lyrical, one is playful, one is aggressive.
Right.
But you have a beautiful tone. We should talk more about that at some point if we have the chance. You know, you're singing middle register from A to B flat, all those notes here. Wow, that's super, super. So work that out. That's your trademark for the future. You know, your singing sound, and make you sound egal, you know, even. So you can have that kind of singing quality in the end of phrases, in your high register, you know, when you play soft and when you play loud. And when you do your daily practices, do you do long notes?
Yes.
Okay, push limits. Don't stand there and just blow, you know, with your beautiful vibrato. No, come on, do that hysterical extra one that is only required once in a concert, but you have to do it. It's just, you know, and then you can, of course, drive half speed, but at some point you do that full speed, and that's the one you practice in your practice room, you know. Wider vibrato, deeper, faster, because then you can always relax it. But just don't stand there and blow it. It's good to hear you. Fantastic playing. I think let's wrap it up here, as Christina just wrote to me, time to wrap it up. What a funny, yeah, wonderful. I give the applause here from everybody. That's great. Do you have any questions on anything we talked about here or connected to this?
I don't think so. I think we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, mind-blowing tone was a comment here. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's you. That's great. Christina, should I answer some questions? Should we have some kind of a discussion thing here or any topic?
So we will actually be finishing off the Facebook live stream here, and then if anyone registered has any questions left, as long as they have time to chat, and we all do, we can definitely do that. So
I saw a question.
If they wanted to know, is there a fingering that helps high F, and is there one to help with high F sharp that you would recommend?
Yeah, absolutely, sure. So we go here. The high notes, we are in the third octave. If you have a pianissimo situation with a high F, F sharp, high F first, you know, of course you have the thumb, as you can see, you always hear the normal fingering. The only thing you can do that is the easy one is to add this trill key. That one. You see it's clear?
Mm-hmm.
One other, that will just make it easier. if it's too flat and you want to get it sharper, look at the pinky. You move the pinky over to the C sharp key. You see the pinky here? For the third octave, move the pinky over to the C sharp key. Then it will sharpen. And then you can still open this. I show you. Just to sharpen first. You hear that little. And here is, you know, everybody can try. For the F sharp, the only help we can get is, you know, for the F sharp is the same here. You can move your pinky over to the C sharp. It's a little bit different on flute to flute. On the Miyazawa flutes, there is an obvious easier responding instrument if you move this. I know some flute makers doesn't have that. It doesn't work like that, depending on how high their chimneys are and exactly where the keys are. But like this, you see, it gets a little bit easier. Any other question on easy fingerings? Help? I'll be happy to answer. I know everything about this. Sini Rueda. That's good to see you, Sini. I see. It's good. It works for you. Do I have any advice for playing soft art? What? Soft articulation, was it?
Mm-hmm. In the upper register.
Just remember to blow. I mean, so many people, when they have trouble with their articulation, forget to blow. The focus end up on the tongue or where the tongue is. You know, if you just have a decent support, it really helps, you know. And so many times I have to work in classes with students to get them to blow before you can start to get soft, you know. So the articulation is normally not the problem. It's the actual support of the articulation that needs to be sorted out. As a general thing, you know, in your specific case, I can't say, of course, but as a general thing, you know, for articulation in high register soft, remember to blow. Yeah. That was Olivia. Okay, you got that. Very good.
And what etude do you recommend for daily practice?
Oh my God. Daily practice for me is sequences, and I do sequences based on a little bit on what I'm playing pieces or you know, as if I need to target something, I create a sequence. I have a special system for it, and we do this. Next week we will do the virtual Wild Acres flute routine, and every day I start with half an hour sequences, and we will go through sequences that helps thirds, helps slurs, help pianissimos going up, helps staccato, helps tricky passages, helps repeated notes, anything. I get it into a little sequence, and it's normally not bigger than this. But we play it in all registers, you know. Or something like this, you know, and then move it in the same key. I just can't take the time here now to explain all this. There is a website, or rather a Facebook group called Sequences with Göran Marcusson, I think it is. There I have explained, you know, my daily exercises with all the sequences. I really can't give advices on etudes, you know, or, you know, daily, yeah, what do you call them? Yeah, etudes, because I'm not good at it. I did it a lot when I was studying, but nowadays I have to be a little more efficient when I practice, and then I just do the sequences, and I normally create the one that I need to work on, you know. So now, as I haven't played flute for many, many weeks, actually a couple of months, when this Corona thing, I picked down my flute and I took 2.5 months off. So now when I restart, I have to create sequences and exercises to get my vibrato going. That's really a tragedy to hear. After 2 months off the flute, it's dead. But it starts to come back. And then normally people want to have their time going. But I have learned to create my own exercises in this. I will be happy to share it with you in an appropriate time. Maybe if you come to a flute course or if we meet somewhere out there.
Great. Well, I'd like to thank Göran once again for joining us and giving us your expertise and your teaching and your time today, and sharing that with everyone on the Zoom and on Facebook watching. And another thank you to Ethan and Joanna for playing so beautifully and joining us for that. And I think this will wrap up this live session, and we will be back at 2 p.m. Central US time.
Can I just have a word, maybe one more minute?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because I very often have questions, maybe based on, some of my albums. My very first one, there is a beautiful photo of a crystal flute on it. And people ask me, can you play that crystal flute? No, I can't, but it's here. I put it here. So I want to show you my crystal flute. You see here, it's totally glass. It's a beautiful piece of art made by the Waterford Crystal Company. I got it in Ireland at a class with Jimmy Galway, was it 91 or 92? And you can't play it, but it's full size. Yeah, it's a beauty, isn't it? I just wanted to show you this one. I'm so proud of it. Let's put it back here. Where it belongs.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much to everyone on Facebook for tuning in. And again, we'll be back at 2 p.m. US Central Time with our next event.
Okay. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Ethan. And thank you, Joanna. And thank you, everybody who was watching. Ciao.